Very good morning, dear students. So, all of us, since it is a morning, we have taken food and we will come to the college. So, after taking the food, you get the energy. When you wake up, you take the breakfast. You take breakfast in the form of somebody may take little bit rice, somebody may take some chapatis, somebody may take some breads, whatever be the form of the food, all the foods came to us by the process of photosynthesis. Now, before going into the technical details of the photosynthesis, first of all, we should have the idea about the particular phenomenon and will be covering the light reactions of photosynthesis. So, before going into the light reactions of photosynthesis, first of all, we will be interested to know what is the process of photosynthesis. Now, as we know that photosynthesis is a photobiological process which occurs in the green parts of plant and other green organisms. Now, from the knowledge of anatomy, we know that there are the plant leaves. The plant leaves are of two types. For dicot plants, it is dorsiventral leaf, like a betel leaf. It is a dorsiventral leaf, and another leaf is there, which is that is the leaf of a banana plant, which is a isobilateral. Now, regarding dorsiventral and isobilateral leaf, we have conception that dorsiventral leaves have more number of stomata on the lower surface of the leaf, and isobilateral leaf have equal number of stomata in the backbone. Now, we see the reaction. In this reaction, we have seen that how carbon dioxide is combined to water and energy from sunlight to form glucose and oxygen. This oxygen is referred as the digestion of photosynthesis. I have already told that is the mechanism of photosynthesis have two parts. One is light reaction, one is dark reaction. The light reaction, where it occurs, the dark reaction where it occurs. The light reaction mostly occurs in the chloroplast, and the dark reaction mostly occurs in the chloroplast. But where light reaction occurs in the thylakoid membranes of the chloroplast, and dark reaction occurs in the stroma of the chloroplast. Now, for this, we have to see the structure of the chloroplast. So, let us see the structure of the chloroplast. So, all of you have the idea of chloroplast, how it looks like. Chloroplast is a double membrane bound structure. Chloroplast is a double membrane bound structure. It has a inner membrane, is a outer membrane, and it has particular structure which are called stroma and grana. So, if we see the structure of the chloroplast, we will find that there is a stack of coins-like thing. Here, stack of coins. This stack of coins-like thing is called grana. This is called grana. An individual stack is called granum. And this grana and granum, their membrane is called the thylakoid. And there are some lamellar apparatus which connects one grana to another. These are called frat membranes. These frat membranes have also that is the reaction centers. It has the photosynthetic units. It has the photosystems also. Now there are Besides this, there are some DNA, chloroplast genome is also there. Chloroplast genome. Then some matrix like stroma is there. Stroma. Then you will find this is the intermembrane space, outer membrane, inner membrane. These are the chloroplast outer membrane, outer membrane and inner membrane. Outer membrane, inner membrane. Then you will have the this has particular importance. These ends are called margin. These ends are called margin of thylakoids, and these are called partition of thylakoids, which is the margin, which is the partition. These are called partition and these are called margin. In the margins, no photosynthetic apparatus or the chloroplast is present. Now in the partitions, there are two types of partitions. One is appressed partition, and another is non-appressed partition. In the non-appressed part of the partition, we find photosystem 1, and in the appressed part of the partition, we find photosystem 2. So this is the chloroplast where photosynthesis occurs, both light and dark reaction. Light reaction occurs in the thylakoid bundle, dark reaction occurs in the stroma, because the enzymes of dark reaction present in the stroma. Now I am coming to the distribution of photosystems. So this is the organelle where photosynthesis occurs, both light and dark reaction. Now you see the light reaction. Now you see the PPT slide. Come to the PPT slides. We know that pigments. What are the requirements? First requirement is the pigment. So what type of pigments are present? What type of pigments? There are basically three types of pigments are present. One is chlorophyll, one is carotene, carotenoids, and there is phycobilins. So among again in the chlorophyll, you see there are different types of chlorophyll: A, B, C, D. Protochlorophyll, bacteriobreeding, bacteriochlorophyll. So bacteriobreeding and bacteriochlorophyll occur in prokaryotic organisms like bacteria, and bacteria also perform a good number of photosynthesis. What is peculiarity about bacterial photosynthesis is that in bacterial photosynthesis there is an unappressed part. Now there are broadly two photosystems: photosystem 1 and photosystem 2, PS1 and PS2. So what is the structure? These PS1 and PS2 are aggregation of some photosynthetic pigments and proteins. They have a reaction center. Say this is PS1. So it is PS1 reaction center RC, which is 700. That is the chlorophyll molecules absorbed at 700 nanometer of light. That is the reaction center RC, and there will be antenna complexes. This is called antenna complex. Antenna complex, which is also known as light harvesting chlorophyll protein complex, LHCP complex. Now what are there? Here you will get chlorophyll A only. Here it is 700. Here you will get say 710 to 720. Then you will get say chlorophyll 695 to 750. Chlorophyll 685 to 600 to 700. Then chlorophyll 672, 678, 687, like this. Chlorophyll 670, okay, 670, or chlorophyll B. Then you get xanthophyll. This way they are placed. then carotenes, or carotenoids. Many pigments are there. So this way PS1 is there. In PS2, same structure. In PS2, there will be same structure. A little bit difference is there. There will be 680 nanometer. They absorb 680 nanometer of light, and there are chlorophyll, xanthophyll, and carotenoids. There are carotenoids, xanthophyll, then there is chlorophyll 678 to 685, then chlorophyll 665 to 680, chlorophyll 660 to 670, like this. So this is the antenna. So this way there are two photosystems. There are photosynthetic apparatus, and one particular concept is there, quantazone. What is quantazone? Quantazone is small granular particles where photosynthetic apparatus is present. That is, it contains both reaction center and antenna complexes. A quantazone contains 250 molecules of chlorophyll, that is the pigments, and they absorb the sunlight directly. They fixes the chemical energy, solar energy, sunlight energy to chemical energy. So Park and Vigins in 1964, they first described the structure of quantazone. Now come to the PowerPoint slide. In the PowerPoint slide, we see that photosynthesis has major two phases. One is light dependent phase, one is light independent phase. In the light dependent phase, mostly the sunlight is captured by chlorophyll molecules in the thylakoid membranes, and in the light independent phase, the products of light reaction, that is the ADP and NADPH, helps the fixation of carbon dioxide in absence of light through Blackman's reactions or Calvin cycle in the stroma of chloroplast. So ultimately, in the light reaction, oxygen is evolved. In the dark reaction, water is also formed along with the glucose. So this is the very short structure. This is the summary structure of the total photosynthetic process. Now, in the next slide, you see a summary of photosynthesis. The formation of these are, I have already drawn in the blackboard. These are the grana, and these are the flat membranes, and this is the stroma. In the thylakoid, there is both appressed and unappressed part. Sunlight is being absorbed in the thylakoid membrane by the chlorophyll, and this sunlight is fixed into the chemical energy in the form of NADPH and ATP. And this NADPH and ATP in the stroma, they are forming the glucose and water. So this is the main thing. Water from the cell sap is used as the raw material for photosynthesis. So plant has to absorb water from the soil. In the next slide, you see the spectra. We know that here it is shown from 400 nanometer to 750 nanometer. You see the two things I need to make it clear: absorption spectra and action spectra. What is absorption spectra? What is action spectra? When a particular pigment molecule absorbs sunlight in the visible wavelength of sunlight, it shows maximum absorption peak at a particular wavelength. This particular wavelength will be called as that particular pigment's absorption spectra. And what is action spectra? Action spectra is for a particular photosynthetic pigment is that the quantum yield. What is the quantum yield of photosynthesis? Quantum yield means number of photons absorbed and number of glucose molecules formed. Number of photons absorbed, number of oxygen evolved. That is called quantum yield. Where in x-axis, there are some wavelengths of light, and in the y-axis we place the quantum yield. There one curve is obtained. That particular curve is called action spectrum. So action spectrum for different photosynthetic pigments is different. And absorption spectrum is what? One way in the x-axis we have the wavelength, and in the y-axis we have the absorptions.
we put the absorbency. So there will be, you see the wavelength maybe 400, 500, 600 and absorbency is known. This is the absorption spectrum. You see the absorption spectrum. For chlorophyll, maximum absorption once nearby 420 or 450. Then sharp decrease. Then it again increases near about at 600. Chlorophyll, it again increases here 680. So chlorophyll, for chlorophyll A, maximum absorption occurs in the blue violet region and red region. In the red region, near red region 680 peak, and here another peak 450 for chlorophyll. It will change for chlorophyll B, for carotene, for phycoerythrin, for chlorophyll B. So it is not same. So for each individual pigment, absorption spectra curve is different types. Now come to next slide. You see the photosynthesis, and this they have shown the light reaction. Now I will concentrate on light reaction. So in the light reaction, what you see that it requires light. Of course, in the night it will not occur. It occurs in the thylakoid of chloroplast and involve both photosystem 1 and photosystem 2. So this photosystem, I have already told what is antenna complexes, how energy is captured and how energy is passed to reaction center. Now this is to be discussed. How energy is captured by antenna complexes and how this energy is transferred to the reaction center in the that is the complex photosystem 1 and photosystem 2. You see, this is the antenna complex. Many different types of pigments are there. Xanthophyll is there, carotenoids is there, chlorophyll is there, and in the reaction center is always a dimer of chlorophyll A or another type of chlorophyll. Mostly the reaction center contains chlorophyll, not other pigments, because chlorophyll has the maximum capacity to absorb light. Now what happens? You see how the light is absorbed. So come in the reaction center. What happens? You see, come to the slide. In the reaction center, what happens? The energy is transferred to the reaction center, where energy is captured by the antenna. We know antenna. Earlier days television, they have antenna. They catches the signal. Similarly, in chlorophyll, in photosynthesis also, photosystem 1 and 2, they have antenna. They have captured the light energy. They have undergone different types of process: singlet state, excited singlet state, excited doublet excited state, metastable triplet state. Ultimately, they transfer the energy to the reaction center. When they transfer the energy to the reaction center, what happens? Say they transfer the energy to the reaction center of photosystem 2. Then when energy will be transferred, that means electrons will be transferred. It will have more electrons. Then these electrons will be given to its nearest acceptor, which is the primary electron acceptor of photosystem 2, which is a pheophyte. Then it will transfer it to the plastoquinone A, plastoquinone B, and cytochrome B6F complex and plastocyanine. Then photosystem 1. So before going to that, I have to there is another event occurs which is known as Hill reaction. Comes to the blackboard, you see Hill reaction. Hill reaction occurs in chloroplast. There is a particular complex which is called OEC, oxygen evolving complex. In that oxygen evolving complex, what happens? Water molecule is broken up to 2 H plus molecules and half or 2. Actually, there is 2 H2O molecules. That means 4 H plus molecules are formed and 1 oxygen molecule is formed, which is evolved directly before starting of photosynthesis. Here is manganese positive ion and chloride ion is something. Calcium ion is also there. And this, they at the same time they emit 4 electrons also. These 4 electrons are accepted by a unknown acceptor, which is a strong oxidant, which is called YZ. And the nature of this YZ is that it is a tyrosine amino acid. It is a tyrosine amino acid. Tyrosine. It is a tyrosine amino acid. Clear? So this is the oxygen evolving complex and Hill reaction. So before starting of photosynthesis, Hill reaction occurs. In Hill reaction, oxygen evolves, and this Hill reaction was described by R.H. Hill. So this is the oxygen evolving complex. This is the oxygen evolving complex. Now this light reaction starts with this that is Hill reaction. Now what happens? Now the photosynthesis process, we find the jet stream, which is called jet stream of photosynthesis or light reaction. Jet stream of photosynthesis or light reaction, which includes both cyclic and non-cyclic phosphorylation. Now what happens? There is a curve where this is the redox potential, oxidation reduction potential, redox potential. That redox potential, it may be 0.1, it may be 0.08, it may be 0.06, it may be 0.04, it may be 0.02, it may be 0, it may be minus 0.08, minus 0.06, minus 0.04, minus 0.02, like this one. Now if we draw a combined diagram of jet stream, what will happen? First you have to draw a oxygen evolving complex where water, 2 molecules of water will be broken down into 4H plus, 4 electrons, and ultimately 1 oxygen molecule. Okay. These 4 electrons will go to oxidize a particular unknown substance, which is the primary acceptor of electron. And this way, here how much electron will go? Say if we make it for single water molecule, then we have 2 electrons, and so 2 electrons will go here, and from this we will get the reaction center PS2, the 680 nanometer wavelength. It will transfer its, that is electrons, 2 electrons to the primary acceptor of PS1, which is a unknown substance, say X. Then X is transferred into pheophytin electrons, 2 electrons. Then pheophytin will transfer to PQ, plastoquinone A. Then it will be transferred to plastoquinone B. Then it will be transferred to cytochrome B6F complex. Then it will be transferred to plastocyanin. Then this plastocyanin will transfer its electron to PS1, photosystem 1, 700. So every step there is 2 electron, 2 electron, 2 electron, 2 electrons are there. In this particular step, 1 ATP will be from ATP plus, I am coming later how ATP is formed. Here 1 ATP will be formed. And in PS1, when it will receive, it will transfer its electron to its primary acceptor A0, which is a chlorophyll molecule, A1, then FeSX, rice key iron sulfur protein, FeSXA, FeS, rice key iron sulfur protein, B, then it will transfer its electron to ferredoxin, and ferredoxin from ferredoxin mononucleotide reductase in presence of the enzyme, it will be transferred to NADP, and this NADP will take this H plus from the lumen of the thylakoid, H plus, and it will ultimately from NADPH plus H plus, NADPH plus H plus. So this way both, so it looks like Z. If we think, it looks like Z, isn't it? So its name is Z scheme. So it was given by a particular Jablonski. This scheme was proposed by Jablonski. So here both cyclic and non-cyclic photophosphorylation occur. So what is the product of photosynthesis? The product of photosynthesis is ATP. Product of light reaction of photosynthesis is ATP and this NADPH. ATP and NADPH. This is the products. Now, how this ATP and NADPH form? This is the matter of concern. Now come to the slide. In the slide, forward slide, we see same diagram is drawn. P680, P700, ultimately NADPH is formed and ATP is formed. Now how this ATP is formed? So whatever things, these things I have already told. Light excites antenna molecules, I have already told. Excited antenna molecule transfers energy to the chlorophyll molecule. Reaction center, then reaction center got excited, it transfers the electrons to the primary acceptor, then it enters into the electron transport chain, and ultimately you see the products are formed. After you see the PPT slide, I have already told what is the nature of jet. Why jet? Tyrosine I have already told. Now what is the role of manganese in oxygen evolving complex? Manganese donates electrons to jet. Manganese helps to transfer the electrons to jet. The manganese and chlorine and calcium, these three things are involved in oxygen evolving complex. After transfer of 4 electrons, water splits into oxygen, molecular oxygen. 4 electrons and 4 protons. I have already told. Manganese, what is the role of manganese? Manganese takes all the 4 electrons. Then it gives it to YZ. YZ gives it to PSP reaction. So this way the chain goes on. Ultimately the Z scheme, which I have already told. You see? Excited state, pheophytin, plastoquinone A, plastoquinone B, cytochrome B6F complex, plastocyanin, photosystem 1, reaction center, then it is excited, A0, I have already told, A1, rice key iron sulfur protein X, rice key iron sulfur protein A, rice key iron sulfur protein B, then it transfers to the ferredoxin, and with the help of ferredoxin, NADP, FNR matlab ferredoxin, NADP reductase, with the help of that enzyme, this NADP plus takes from the lumen of the chloroplast H plus ion, which has been emitted by photolysis of water, combines with NADP to form NADPH plus H plus. Clear? So these are the products. Now these things we have to draw in the that is in exam script also. Now come to photophosphorylation. We have seen that phosphorylation is over. Addition of phosphate to form ATP. That is called phosphorylation. Phosphorylation occurs in respiration as well as photosynthesis. In photosynthesis, respiration occurs in photosynthesis. Photophosphorylation occurs in chloroplast. In respiration, it is occurs in mitochondria. Now in the chloroplast, phosphorylation occurs. There are 2 ways. One is cyclic photophosphorylation, one is non-cyclic photophosphorylation. So what is photophosphorylation? First of all, we have to know. Here, photosynthesis means formation of ATP with the help of light, with the help of sunlight. Protons are transferred from thylakoid space to stroma through ATPase, generating ATP. One ATP is formed after transfer of one pair of protons, 2 electrons, and this process is called chemiosmosis. Why it is called chemiosmosis? Because you see this particular diagram. This is the diagram of what? This diagram is the thylakoid membrane diagram. Clear? Thylakoid membrane diagram. This thylakoid membrane is made up of a lipid bilayer and a protein layer. In this thylakoid membrane, everything is there. All the electron acceptors, photosystem 1, photosystem 2, ATP synthase, cytochrome B6 and F complex, everything is there. Here you see photosystem 2, isn't it? Cytochrome B6 F complex, photosystem 1 and ATP synthase. ATP synthase is just like a badminton racket. In the ATP synthase, you see here in the chloroplast matrix. This is the chloroplast matrix. This is the inner side is the outer side is the chloroplast matrix, stroma, and inner side is the products is ATP, NADPH, and O2. These are the 3 products of light reaction. Now, so what conclusions we can draw after the light reaction? ATP is generated. First, NADP is produced, NADPH, which is called the reducing power of photosynthesis. ATP is called the energy of photosynthesis. Oxygen is formed, and ATP and NADPH2, NADPH is called assimilatory power, and both these two will start the dark reaction. And ATP is used in phosphorylation of 3-phosphoglyceric acid into 1,3-bisphosphoglyceric acid. Ultimately, NADPH will reduce 1,3-bisphosphoglyceric acid to phosphoglyceric acid. Oxygen will be evolved, and 2-phosphoglyceric acid, 3-carbon acid will combine to form 1 molecule of 6-carbon sugar. So this way we get the sugar, we get the oxygen for after completion of photosynthesis. We get some amount of water also. At the same time, we get ATP and NADPH2, which is the assimilatory power. Name the assimilatory power. Or what are the assimilatory power of photosynthesis? Question may come. Next, so you will be assigned some of the questions. This will be assignment to you. You will solve it and you will write the answers and in